Have you ever finished your morning walk, the one everyone says is the best exercise for seniors, and still felt like your legs were dragging behind you? That dull heaviness, that tired ache that makes every step feel like effort. You might even wonder, why does my body feel older than I am? Here's the truth. It's not weakness, and it's definitely not your fault. Most people over 60 don't realize there's a hidden part of their body quietly controlling how strong, steady, and energized they feel. A part that science now calls your second heart. And when it slows down, you feel it in your legs, in your balance, even in your confidence. But today, we're going to wake it back up. Together. Before we start, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. And if you're new here, welcome to Seniors Together, a community built to help you move with strength, peace, and purpose again. Now, before we jump into the movements, let's uncover what's really been happening inside your legs. Deep beneath your calf lies a quiet hero called the soleus muscle. It's small, it's steady, and most people never even know it exists. But every time it contracts, it pushes blood back toward your heart, like a natural pump fighting gravity. That's why scientists call it your second heart. Here's the problem. After 60, when we sit more or move less, this muscle drifts into sleep mode. The result? Heavier legs, swelling by the afternoon, and that drained feeling no amount of walking seems to fix. The good news, you don't need a gym or special gear to bring it back online. Over the next few minutes, I'll show you 3 gentle moves to reactivate your second heart, and with it, your balance, circulation, and energy. But first, let's talk about why this discovery changes everything. You've been told your whole life that walking is the gold standard of healthy aging, and yes, it's wonderful for your heart and lungs. But here's what almost no one tells you. Walking barely wakes up your soleus. It's like tapping it on the shoulder instead of turning it on. See, when you walk, your knee stays mostly straight. That means your outer calf muscle does most of the work while your second heart stays quiet. Over time, that silence adds up: poor circulation, ankle swelling, loss of stability. That's why so many people say, I walk every day, but my legs still feel heavy. It's not your age, it's your activation. In this program, we'll fix that. We'll start right where you are, safely and slowly, teaching your legs to pump life back upward. And once you feel that first spark of energy again, you'll never look at a simple chair the same way. Let's make something clear. This isn't about pushing harder. It's about reconnecting, retraining your body to remember what it already knows. Your second heart isn't broken, it's just been ignored. In the next few sections, we'll go step by step, starting from a comfortable seated position. You'll learn how to wake up the soleus gently, using nothing but gravity, intention, and a bit of awareness. And here's what's beautiful. Every small movement matters. Each lift of your heel becomes a signal to your brain, hey, I'm still here. I can still support you. So if you've ever felt like your body was slowing down faster than your spirit, stay with me. You're about to see how a few simple minutes can restore strength and calm from the ground up. Now, take a deep breath. Sit tall. Let's get ready for your first movement. All right? No more theory. Let's put this into action. This first move is your turning point, especially if you deal with swelling, stiffness, or that heavy leg feeling by afternoon. Here's how we'll do it. Sit tall in a sturdy chair, feet flat on the floor, knees bent at 90 degrees. Rest your hands gently on your knees, or hold 2 small water bottles for light pressure. Keep the balls of your feet pressed into the floor. Slowly lift your heels as high as you comfortably can. Feel that squeeze deep in the back of your lower legs. Hold for 1 or 2 seconds, then lower with control. Repeat this 10 to 15 times. It may feel subtle, but don't underestimate it. This is how you wake your second heart. And once it's awake, we'll build on it, step by step, until you feel strong from the ground up. All right, let's walk through this together. Slow, simple, and safe. Start by sitting tall in your chair. Keep your shoulders relaxed and your back supported but upright. Your feet should be flat on the floor, about hip, width apart. Feel the ground beneath you. That's your foundation. Now, place your hands gently on your knees. This light pressure helps you feel the movement better. If you'd like a little challenge, hold a small water bottle on each knee. Nothing heavy, just enough to remind your legs that they're working. Next, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, Slowly lift your heels off the floor. Don't rush it. You're not trying to show strength, you're teaching control. Feel that quiet contraction deep in your lower calves. Hold it for a second or two, and then lower your heels slowly, letting them touch the floor softly. Good. That's your rhythm. Gentle, mindful, powerful. Now that you've got the movement down, let's tune it. Each time you lift your heels, focus on the squeeze, that tightening sensation right above your ankles. That's your soleus waking up. Think of it as your body's internal pump, sending fresh blood upward. Here's your pattern. Lift both heels slowly. Pause for 1, 2. Lower gently back down. That's 1 rep. Do this 10 to 15 times, once or twice a day. If you feel a light warmth or tingling, that's circulation improving. If you don't feel much yet, don't worry. Muscles, especially ones that have been asleep, take a few days to fully respond. The key here isn't speed, it's consistency. The more often you remind your body how to move this way, the stronger your second heart becomes. Up next, let's explore why this small, simple move has such a big scientific impact. So what's actually happening inside your legs when you lift those heels? Here's the short version. Every time your soleus contracts, it pushes blood back up toward your heart. That's huge because gravity constantly pulls that blood downward. When the soleus stays inactive, blood and fluid pool in your lower legs, causing swelling, fatigue, and that heavy sensation. Think of this muscle as your built-in circulatory pump. And as we age, it just needs a little help waking up. This movement gives it that signal, like flipping the on switch. Studies have shown that when the soleus is reactivated, oxygen delivery improves, swelling decreases, and overall energy rises. It even helps your heart work more efficiently by easing the return flow of blood. And all this without leaving your chair. It's not flashy, but it's foundational. Now, before we move on, let's talk briefly about how to stay safe while doing it. This movement is safe for nearly everyone, but let's take a moment to be smart about it. If you've had a recent blood clot DVT, severe varicose veins with pain, or any sharp, sudden pain in your calves, check with your doctor first. It's always better to be cautious than to push through discomfort. And remember, pain and progress are not the same thing. You should feel activation, not ache. If you ever feel dizzy or lightheaded, pause, take a breath, and rest. This isn't a competition. It's communication between you and your body. For everyone else, this movement can safely be part of your daily routine. You can even do it while watching TV, reading, or drinking your morning coffee. Now that you've mastered your seated foundation, we're ready to rise, literally. In the next part, we'll take that same second heart power and bring it to your feet. You've just done something remarkable. In 2 quiet minutes, you reactivated a muscle that's been quietly shaping your circulation, your balance, and even your energy. That's no small thing. But we're not stopping here. Remember, your body was designed to move with gravity, not against it. So in the next section, we're going to take everything you've built in your chair and bring it into the real world, standing, moving, and reclaiming confidence in motion. Don't underestimate what you just started. Sometimes the smallest motion opens the biggest door, because when your second heart wakes up, every part of you follows. So take a sip of water, stretch your legs lightly, and when you're ready, meet me standing. We're about to turn gravity into your greatest ally. Now, let's stand up, literally and figuratively. Have you ever noticed that moment when you rise from a chair and feel just a bit unsteady? Maybe you pause before taking that first step, or you reach for the counter. Just in case. It's subtle, but it tells a story. That tiny hesitation isn't about aging, it's about your body's built-in balance system losing a bit of practice. The good news, practice can bring it back. That's exactly what we're about to do with the next movement. The standing calf raise. It's simple, quiet, and more powerful than it looks. By standing tall and lifting your heels, you'll retrain your body to trust itself again. This isn't about working out, it's about waking up. So take a breath, find a sturdy surface, and let's bring the strength you've built in that chair up onto your feet. Here's something most people don't realize. Balance isn't just about your feet, it's about your entire lower body communicating as one system. When you stand, your ankles, knees, hips, and even your brain work together to keep you upright. But when one link weakens, the whole chain gets wobbly. That's where this next move comes in. The standing calf raise teaches your legs how to respond to gravity again. It strengthens the same second heart we just woke up, but now under your full body weight. Think of it as the bridge between sitting and walking with confidence. Every slow rise builds circulation. Every controlled descent teaches your nervous system precision. And soon, those little wobbles when you stand up, they'll start to fade. All right, grab a countertop or chair for support. And let's go step by step together. Now, no fancy gym gear here, just you, your feet, and something sturdy nearby. Here's how to begin. Stand facing a countertop, wall, or heavy chair. Place both hands lightly on it, not to lean, just for gentle support. Keep your feet hip, width apart, toes pointing straight forward. Before moving, take a moment to ground yourself. Feel your weight evenly spread across the balls and heels of your feet. Now, slowly shift your focus to the front of your feet, the balls under your toes. That's where the lift begins. You're not rushing. You're reconnecting. Imagine your legs remembering how to carry you with confidence. This is where stability starts, not from strength alone, but from awareness. In the next step, we'll bring that awareness to life with motion. All right, let's bring it all together. From that grounded stance, take a slow breath in, and as you exhale, lift both heels off the floor. Just a few inches is enough. The key isn't height, it's control. Hold the top for 1-2 seconds. Feel your calves and ankles quietly activating beneath you. Then lower your heels slowly, as if you're setting something fragile down. Here's your rhythm. Rise with intention. Pause at the top. Lower softly with control. That's 1 rep. Try 10-15 of these. Once in the morning and once before bed. You'll notice how your legs feel lighter, your steps steadier, and your energy calmer. Consistency builds trust. Your body starts to believe, I can do this. And next, we'll explore exactly why this simple rise and lower move creates such deep changes inside you. Let's peek inside what's really happening. When you rise onto your toes, you're engaging 2 key muscles, the gastrocnemius, the visible outer calf, and the soleus, your hidden second heart. Together, they act like twin pumps, pushing blood upward against gravity. But that's not all. Every lift sends tiny signals through the nerves in your ankles, knees, and hips, a process called proprioception. That's your body's built in GPS, teaching it where you are in space. The stronger this connection, the steadier you feel. And here's the part most people miss. Walking only uses these muscles halfway. This full range movement builds real, resilient control. So, if you've ever thought balance fades with age, think again. It's not gone, it's just waiting for practice. In the next section, we'll talk about how to stay safe and modify this movement if your balance needs a little extra support. Before we go any further, let's make sure your safety comes first. This movement is gentle, but balance is personal. If you've recently had foot or ankle surgery, or you feel dizzy when standing, it's perfectly fine to stick with the seated version from earlier. You'll still get the same benefits. And here's an easy tip. If you're practicing the standing calf raise, always keep a sturdy surface, like a countertop or chair, within reach. Light support isn't cheating, it's smart training. Think of it like learning to walk again with confidence. You wouldn't remove the handrail your first day on the stairs, right? So go at your own pace. No rush, no pressure, just progress. Because the goal here isn't perfection. It's control, comfort, and confidence in motion. Now that we've built that foundation, let's talk about something powerful. What this exercise really means for your body and your mindset. Let's be honest. Many of us reach an age where standing up can bring a quiet doubt. Am I steady enough? But here's the truth. You are not fragile. You're adaptable. Every lift you've just done sends a new message to your body. I can support myself. That's not just physical, it's emotional. This exercise isn't about building big muscles. It's about building trust in your balance, your coordination, your sense of control, and something amazing happens when that trust returns. Fear fades. You stop second, guessing each step, and you start moving through your day with quiet confidence again. So celebrate this step, because it's not small, it's significant. You've just proven to your body that strength is still there. And in the next section, we'll take that same inner power 1 level deeper, literally. Let's discover the hidden muscle that holds you steady when you least expect it. All right, No long introductions, let's get right to it. You've woken your second heart and taught it to support you while standing. Now, it's time to go deeper, to a level of control most people never reach. There's a moment we all experience every day but rarely notice. When we stand on one foot for just a second, putting on shoes, stepping off a curb, reaching for something high, that's when your body makes a silent decision: stay balanced, or start to wobble. The secret to that decision lives in a deeper, quieter muscle inside your calf. The soleus again, but this time trained in a new way. This next move is called the bent knee-calf raise, and it's the key to unlocking lifelong stability. Ready to find out how? Let's start gently and discover why this small adjustment makes a massive difference. Now, here's where your training gets personal. This movement teaches your body what true balance feels like. It's simple but deeply effective. Here's how to start. Stand behind a sturdy chair or counter, hands resting lightly on it. Shift your weight onto your right leg, lifting your left foot just an inch off the floor. Slightly bend your right knee, just a soft, athletic bend, not a squat. From here, slowly lift your right heel as high as you comfortably can. Pause for 1 or 2 seconds, then lower back down with control. Repeat 8-12 times. Then switch legs. This small bend changes everything. It wakes up the deep muscle that controls your balance from within. We'll talk about why this knee position matters so much next. Here's the secret. When your knee stays straight, your body relies on the outer calf muscle, the one built for power and quick movement. But when you bend the knee, that muscle steps aside, forcing your soleus, the deep stabilizer, to do the work. This muscle is different. It's made of slow, twitch fibers that don't tire easily. They're built for support, not speed. That's why this movement is so important. It trains endurance, control, and long, lasting balance. You'll feel the activation deeper, closer to your ankle than before. That's your body's balance system reawakening. So if you ever felt unsteady while standing on one leg or walking across uneven ground, this is your antidote. And don't worry if it takes a little practice. That's your nervous system learning again. Next, we'll talk about how to modify this movement safely if you need a little extra support. Now that you know the basics, let's tune this movement to make it both safe and effective. Start by keeping that slight bend in your knee the entire time. That's the secret. It shifts the work from the big outer calf to your deeper, postural muscle, the soleus. You don't need to lift high or move fast. In fact, slower is better. If you're feeling unsure about your balance, place one hand firmly on the counter while the other hovers close, ready but not leaning. Over time, you'll notice you need that support less and less. And here's an insider tip. Try doing this movement in front of a mirror once in a while. Watching yourself stay steady, even on one leg, builds real confidence. Simple, slow, and smart. That's how we teach the body to trust itself again. Up next, we'll explore why this single leg training matters so much for your independence. Standing on one foot might not sound like much, but for your body, it's a full conversation between muscle, nerve, and brain. Every time you balance on one leg, your nervous system recalibrates, learning how to keep you upright even when life throws you a curve, like a slippery floor or uneven step. Here's why this matters. Your soleus acts like an internal stabilizer, constantly sending data to your brain about where you are in space. The stronger that communication becomes, the more automatic your balance feels. It's what keeps you steady when you bend to tie your shoe or step off a curb. And this is exactly why athletes train balance their whole lives, not to look fit, but to stay connected. For you, this isn't about athleticism, it's about assurance. And the best part, that feeling of stability doesn't just stay in your legs, it shows up in your confidence. Let's pause for a second and shift how we think about exercise. At this stage of life, we don't need more strength, we need smarter strength. Movements like the bent knee-calf raise do exactly that. They teach your muscles and brain to work together efficiently. You're not forcing power, you're restoring communication. And that's what keeps you safe, graceful, and independent. So, if you ever think, I'm too old to get stronger, remember this. Strength isn't always about lifting heavy. Sometimes it's about teaching your body to use what it already has, more intelligently. Each repetition here isn't just physical, it's neurological training, helping your brain remember stability patterns it learned decades ago. That's why I call this muscle intelligence. And the more you practice it, the more effortless balance feels. Next, let's talk about small adjustments to keep this movement pain-free and perfectly tailored to you. Every body is different. That's why listening to yours is the golden rule. If you have severe balance issues or you've recently had surgery on your ankle or Achilles tendon, try the 2-foot version of this move first. Keep both feet on the ground, bend your knees slightly, and lift both heels together. If you ever feel sharp pain, skip the lift and just practice gentle heel presses or ankle flexing while seated. It's still progress. And here's a comforting truth. Healing and strengthening don't always look dramatic. Sometimes the quietest moves are the ones that change you the most. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about participation. Even on your off days, 1 minute of mindful movement keeps your muscles awake and your circulation alive. You're teaching your body consistency, and consistency, not intensity, is what leads to lifelong stability. Now, let's take a second to notice what's changed. When you started this journey, standing up might have felt uncertain, but now, whether you realize it or not, you've reactivated a hidden balance system inside you. That gentle warmth near your ankles, that deeper sense of control when you stand, those are signs of reconnection. Your body is remembering its blueprint for stability. Think of it like reawakening a language you once spoke fluently, one of trust, strength, and coordination. Each lift, each pause, each mindful breath has been a quiet reminder to your body, I'm still capable. This is where fitness meets wisdom. You've built not just muscle, but awareness, and that's the foundation of graceful movement at any age. Next, we'll tie everything together and explore how all 3 exercises form one simple, powerful ritual for lifelong mobility. All right, let's take a step back and look at the full picture. You've learned 3 simple but powerful movements. Seated heel raise, to wake up your second heart. Standing calf raise, to strengthen and stabilize your foundation. Bent knee-calf raise, to train deep balance and endurance. Each one builds on the last like layers of a strong, steady structure. Together, they form a daily ritual that restores energy, stability, and confidence from the ground up. And here's the beautiful part. This isn't just exercise. It's communication between you and your body, a reminder that every part of you still wants to support your life. If you practice these 3 for just a few minutes a day, you'll be amazed how quickly your legs start feeling lighter, steadier, and more alive. Next, let's talk about what this means beyond muscles, what it says about you. You might think you've just been moving your ankles and calves, but you've actually been reclaiming something much bigger. Trust in your own body. Every repetition has been a quiet declaration, I'm still capable. And that matters, because with age often comes doubt. Doubt in your balance, in your steps, in your independence. But here's the truth, you haven't lost strength. You've simply stopped calling on it. And now, you've reawakened it. You've proven that it's never too late to retrain the system that keeps you upright, confident, and connected to life. That's more than fitness, it's freedom. So if you've started to feel a little lighter, a little surer when you stand or walk, pause and notice that. That's progress made visible. And as we move forward, I'll show you how to turn this practice into a lifelong habit, one that grounds you every single day. Now, imagine thousands of people just like you, each one discovering that age doesn't define ability. That's the heart of Seniors Together, a growing community where movement means connection, not competition. Here's your invitation. If you felt something shift today, even just a little spark of energy or confidence, drop a comment below and write "Second Heart Activated." That one phrase means more than you think. It says you've taken action, not just listened. This is how we build strength together, not by counting years, but by counting steps forward. And when you subscribe to Seniors Together, you're joining a circle of people choosing to stay curious, hopeful, and in control of their health at every stage of life. Because here, we don't chase youth, we cultivate vitality. Now, let's finish strong and talk about what all of this truly represents. Let's be real, this wasn't just a workout. It was a conversation with your own body. Every lift, every pause, every breath was your way of saying, I'm still here. I still have control. These 3 movements are more than physical, they're symbolic. They remind you that progress doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's steady, but it's always powerful. And the best part, you don't need fancy routines or expensive programs to stay strong. You just need consistency, curiosity, and compassion for yourself. When you move with intention, your body responds with gratitude. So whether you do these in the morning sunlight or while watching your favorite evening show, remember, you're not losing power, you're learning how to use it differently. Now, in our final part, let's close this journey the way it began, with hope, wisdom, and a promise you can carry forward. Take a moment right now, feel your feet on the ground, your heartbeat steady, your breath calm. This is what control feels like. Not the kind that comes from force, but from awareness, from choosing to care for yourself, one small movement at a time. When we started, maybe your legs felt heavy. Maybe you doubted your balance, or wondered if that spark of vitality was gone for good. But look at you now. You've reawakened something powerful, your body's second heart. Yes, but also your quiet courage. You didn't just strengthen muscles. You rebuilt trust. You reminded your body and your spirit that you still decide how you move through life. And that's the true victory. Now imagine what would happen if you kept going, if you joined thousands of others walking this same path toward confidence and calm. That's what Seniors Together is all about. It's not just a channel. It's a place where movement meets meaning, where science meets compassion, and where every new subscriber becomes part of a family that lifts each other, step by step, breath by breath. So if today you felt even a spark of renewal, hit subscribe and stay with us. Because this is more than a routine. It's a return to strength, to balance, to yourself. Welcome home. Welcome to Seniors Together.